Hello, Pisces. Look at you, Pisces. All up in Virgo season, which means it's halfway towards Pisces season. And you're getting old. Oh, yeah. You're getting old. You're 6 months out. You're 6 months out till Pisces season. And listen, Pisces season, oh, what a time. Now that I've bought enough time to shuffle, give it a good shuffle for you, Pisces, and your September, we're going to see what's going on for your September reading. Okay? Like the video if you care to see what's next for Pisces. And let me pull your first card. Alright, Pisces. Queen of Wands. I feel you. I feel you. Queen of Wands, that fire. I feel like that fire for you guys is a little bit of that Aries fire. Your default would be the next guy, the Aries. Queen of Wandsing. You got a cat in the corner. It might be a cat month. Cat-oriented month. Good for you. If you have a cat. Then you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so a little distracted from work, but mostly supposed to be focused. Actually, might be more focused than normal. Might be more focused to the detriment of something else. We got the Queen of all that action. So there's creativity and inspiration, but then work. Looking at work and I wonder what that's about. Let's see. Now, ooh, we got the Eight of Wands. What does the Eight of Wands represent? Traveling, making a special effort, to relocate, to move, to change, for synthesis. And this is like a very clear, like, I'm making a special effort. So some of you, I feel like, especially all this Wands, sandwiching this, what I think is worker bee, focusing, like working hard, working diligently, eye on the prize type. I see you, Pisces, being a madam of action, like acting with your heart, like not just like, oh, I'm just doing stuff. Like you're very purposeful, driven action by you, very focused and very deliberate efforts to make a change. Now, I know these cards are in reverse, and I feel like they're in reverse because there's just like this, it's such an extra effort for you to do that. Like it's an effort to make an effort. But I feel like a lot of drive and inspo and creativity is being summoned in this theme here, and it's driven by hard work. Actually making an effort, putting in the hard work, putting in the discipline, putting in the routine, putting in a structure. So I think some of you guys are starting some goals in September, maybe fitness goals, maybe career goals, but either or whatever. I feel like a quest that emphasizes all this action is probably derived from a period of time where there was inaction. So let's see. Lots of fire. So lots of drive. Some of you might be traveling. Got 2 8s here. Ooh. Oh, let me shuffle in front of you so you can see what's up. Shuffle. Shuffle. All right, Pisces. Let's see. September. All right. King of Cups. The Fool. 9 of Swords in reverse. Sorry, the Fool in reverse as well. 6 of Swords. And the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay, Pisces. What are we acting on? I feel like there's emotional intelligence that is just at the forefront of this entire situation. The way that you move this month, your emotional intelligence is going to be put to task. I think that, I guess we kind of got indicators here, but some of you guys are ready to jump off into something, possibly before you even have all your information. You have to exhibit emotional intelligence. Keep that in mind. But I feel like maybe an opportunity that is too good to be true might present itself towards you guys. Make sure you are not just acting with emotion when you take a new opportunity. Make sure it's actually an opportunity for your make model. Like, you know, let's say you find a place that'll pay you an extra $10,000, but it's like kind of a small place and it's more money, but then you realize that this is not the type of work culture for you. Or maybe you're like, oh, let me relocate to this area. It's so much cheaper than this other area. And then you go and then you realize it's so dangerous there. You're like, oh. And there's a hog oil factory next door, so it's always greasy in the air. It smells weird. You know, just do your research. Make sure before you make any changes or dive into some risk or opportunity that is just a little risque. Just make sure you do your research as much as you can. Just because this card in reverse means there's a little bit of naivety when it comes to decision making. Okay, not that you can't recover from that, but we see some anxiety over here. We see a little bit of anxiety, maybe having some regret for a decision that you dived into without thinking, or because you were super emotional and you let that get the best of you. Maybe some of you got a new job or are planning on getting a new job. Maybe, you know, you're looking for a new job real hard and you're not really thinking about, maybe you want to go to the Christmas party this year. Or maybe you don't really want to leave these people. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, there's some stuff that maybe emotionally you're like, oh, you made things pop off. But you might regret it. Just think things through. We see the swords in the center. We see the 9 of swords, which represents anxiety. We see the 6 of swords, which represents moving on. And we know that if where you're at is somewhere where you're super anxious, it's time to move on. It's time to exhibit emotional intelligence and maybe do the reversal where you're like, well, listen, I'm going to take a pay cut, but I'll be at peace just doing this work where I don't have to deal with these people. And that might be the right decision for if you're the king of your emotional intelligence. You make decisions that are best for everyone. I'm not happy here. You're not happy with me. Let me bow out. Let me do it in a way where I find another job first, instead of just kind of diving into the oblivion and having nothing to move on to. Even though it's hard and you want to stay comfortable, stay complacent, I feel like that if there's anxiety in your chest about this place, if your body's feeling sick every time you walk into this place, or if your feelings are just changing, you have to go with the flow of that change and realize when it's time to go with the tide or just kind of branch off. Maybe not against the tide, that's kind of dangerous. Does it feel like you're going against the tide, staying there, judging by the anxiety you feel being there? This could also be in a relationship. You know, maybe like you guys, your emotions got the best of you again, and you dived into something, and then you realized that you're like, oh no, I didn't do that. You know, it feels like some regret there, some sort of anxiousness about this decision or this sudden move, this dramatic change. This could represent, like, this is associated with Uranus, Aquarius, Uranus, and I guess, no, Uranus, and so I was going to say a little bit of Saturn in there, but because of Aquarius, but no, Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of change, sudden change, surprises, you know, and then also just kind of community, networking. So it just feels like maybe with this King of Cups exhibiting that mastery of all, not even just like obviously emotional intelligence, but just being able to conduct themselves gently, softly. I feel like you might get bamboozled from time to time. So this month it just feels like maybe that action is about being smart. Not, you know, I know when I say emotional intelligence, it means like you're compassionate, you're caring, but also just like reading body language, knowing when someone's trying to manipulate you, knowing when things don't feel right intuitively, and recognizing that so that you know when to make your move. If you're not feeling right intuitively, I mean, you'd think it'd be in reverse, but that's when you're doing the manipulating. This is when you're like emotionally intelligent. I can pick up the cues, I can pick up the signs. I don't get like the vibes here, I do like the vibes here, but I'm going with my gut and no real tangible evidence. You know, maybe hesitate on taking a leap of faith into just like, you know, don't make a wild accusation based on your gut. Don't let it reach the surface and into somebody else's reality unless you know for a fact, that you can prove it just for the sake of your own word and credibility. But I think that if you have an intuitive instinct and you're even having some sort of prophetic dreams, something incepting your sleep, I feel like, you know, it's time to jump off. It's time to jump off. It's time to move on from a place that gives you anxiety. If you're dreaming about, you know, where you work or a situation that you're in, time to move on. Time to move on and on and on. And sandwiching the reading is the King and the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is in reverse. I feel like, you know, you could be too soft at certain times, too forgiving. I know Pisces often have like a delayed reaction when it comes to someone doing them dirty. They don't realize until a few moves that like, wait a minute, they did this and that wasn't very nice. Hey, wait a minute, they didn't have my back there. Wait, it feels like they're being antagonistic. Maybe, honestly, I'm out. Like, you know, but also that's a sensitivity there. When it's in reverse, it could just be you recognizing how sensitive you are. So just trying to gauge the difference between maybe, wait a minute, 2 years later, maybe it wasn't that sensitive. They were being a jerk. I'm blocking them on Instagram. Boom. Pisces. So King and Queen, I feel like there's a lot of emotion just on, like, just this month. Like, you lead with like your emotions, but like at least maybe this month your emotions will serve you well, because again, we're in the analytical month of Virgo right now. So emotions maybe might be seen as a weakness right now, but like I feel like you can use your emotional intelligence to make logical decisions. Your emotional intelligence to make logical, rational decisions, saving yourself from jumping into something that doesn't quite seem right, random risks. So something even might be presented to you as like, hey, you want to move in with me? That would work for me economically, but I don't think that's a good idea. You know, I don't think that's a great idea. Or maybe there's a path there, but the time isn't right now. And then you have nightmares about it and realize, we need to move on from that idea, because something's not settling my spirit. Having nightmares about it, about how horrible the move would be, and these little things that just make me not feel good about this. So, emotional intelligence, go gadget emotions. But the Queen of Cups is usually going to do something from their intuition. They're also, you know, this person could be like your mother, being like, move back in with me or move in with me, and then they not tell you that two other people, your cousins, live there with their kids and they were looking for you to babysit and stuff like that. Or like a mother type figure, grandmother, auntie, somebody just kind of emotionally manipulating you to move on in some way. Maybe for your best interest. This could be like your father perspective, emotional, intelligent, rational way. Don't quit your job until you find something else. You know what? Tell them off and then get the out of there. You know, both are right, you know, but one is righter. But it just, with all these swords, it feels like there's a little bit of like tension, conflict. And I feel like the conflict may be within, like, how you feel about whatever the situation is the indicator of, is this going well or not? If it's not going well, and it hasn't been going well for a long period of time, to where there's a theme about, you know what, we might have to reluctantly take a leap of faith. We might have to check all our this may not be the ideal time to take a leap of faith, so we have to be extra careful when we do it. To the point of anxiety. You know, honestly, this would also indicate that, like, you guys are emotionally, like, if you just stay focused on work and not the gossip, not the drama, if you don't act on certain salacious cues, you know, you just stick to you put all of your energy and efforts into doing something constructive and being kind of a leader, being creative, being resourceful, keeping your head down and focused on the work, will take you places. Okay? King, an emotionally intelligent master, could be your boss, could be a parental figure. Maybe it's like, if some of you guys are like, should I leave this place? If this place is not giving you anxiety, you might be battling with your decision because you don't know if you should take advantage of an opportunity that's presented to you because you like your place of work or your situation. But I feel like the indicator still, it might be difficult. It might make you wonder and regret or whatever. But there's still a clear sign that it would be difficult. You should move on. That use your emotional intelligence, but at the same time, the experience is probably better than anything. I wonder if, like, this Queen of Cups is like that guidance, or that might be just your intuition telling you not to do it, but you're like, I don't understand these negative feelings of fear. Is it my intuition telling me not to do it? Am I just scared because I'm nervous? What is it? Queen of Cups. juggling, balancing, maintaining. You're worried that you're not going to be able to juggle and balance whatever it is that is ahead. Yeah, because it's hard to move on. You have to like do a bunch of, you have to work at double time to get back to a normal pace. And being worried about juggling all of that, it's such a burden, yeah. But again, if you focus on the work and nothing else, still doable. And then also achievement is on behind that too. After you have it done, you get to be proud of yourself. So this month, Pisces, listen, if it don't feel right, move on. You need peace. You need that Queen of Cups energy to be upright. You need peace. You need to relax and not feel bad about it. You chill, not feel bad about it. You need to take your efforts and energy and action up and focus on what you're trying to achieve for that period of time. Get it done. Get the work done. And then be emotionally intelligent about how you move and how you look out for opportunity. Make sure it's an improvement in your life, and make sure that you're willing to be realistic with yourself about what you can do to get there. So a consistent amount of work rather than an overwhelming amount of work once or twice every so randomly. But I think you guys are dealing with something. Something's giving you anxiety, and something's making you feel like you need to move on. And so you need to meditate on that, because this is like, you know, if you felt that way, the Fool would come after this reading and you feel more validated in just taking a leap of faith and moving on. But it's before this. Maybe it could speak to, maybe you haven't taken a leap of faith from this place. Maybe you've been somewhere or in a situation for a very, very long time and you haven't actually taken a leap of faith to alleviate some of this anxiety that you feel about moving on. But again, I think it's about juggling and balancing your time, your resources, and a lot of you are emotional, so you probably just like to lay down, and that could be intoxicating, but it just makes it harder to get up. So get on up. That's what all this fire is about in your reading. Taking action and doing things that make you creative, inspired, and focusing on that solely. So it may not be about like finding a new job, but it may be about focusing on your passion and putting a lot of willpower, a lot of structure and willpower into that, and then seeing what comes of that. You know, that's an opportunity that feels like I can't jump off into that without home benefits and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, at least there's a question of somewhere to jump. That's exciting. Yeah. This anxiety here, and the anxiety of moving on, it seeps into your dreams. You're anxious about it. I think that maybe that could even just mean that you're like, you have a passion that is like unfulfilled, and you just like, all you think about is it, and you're anxious and you want to move on and just start doing it. And you know, it can mean so many things. Whatever this anxiety is that you're dealing from, I feel like moving through it is something you need to do with emotional intelligence, practicality, and focus on, like, pure focus on the solution. Because the fixation on the problem, you're going to be distracted by the fixation on the problem. You got to move with pure focus, because like whenever you think about that thing, you're not gonna feel good. You know, it's like those people that are trying to get out of the hood. They're focused on making that 3-point shot. Or I don't know, focus on working 24 hours a day, barely getting any sleep. But yeah, there it is. That's your reading. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can check out my Etsy shop where I sell all sorts of candles, gemstones, and home fragrances, so have a look at that. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next Pisces video. Bye-bye.